Hi everyone, welcome to the Continental Club. Let me get my camera on. Hi everyone. Well, I'm Anne Hein, Embroidery Software Specialist for Janome America, and today I wanted to go over my favorite features on the embroidery side of our CM17. Now, some of these features are on our other embroidery machines as well. So if you're following from another machine, you might see the same things. Might be slightly different, but we have some of the same features on our machine. So today, I really wanted to go over my favorite things on the embroidery side. A couple of weeks ago, I did my favorite things on the sewing side. So what I'm going to do is I have my camera set up. You can kind of see it like right here. I have it set up, and I'm going to take the camera view, and then I'm going to go on the side of my machine so I can show you what we're doing today, because I want to do a little exercise once we get done with my explanations, and we're going to make this little needle minder. This can all be done on the screen of your machine, okay? Very easy. That's one of the things I love about my machine. I can work on the screen of my machine if I want to. And then the other thing I love is transferring things from my computer to my machine wirelessly. That's one of my favorite things. So one of the things I want to note, because right now you can see that my machine is on the sewing side of things. And if I was in my Artistic Digitizer software and I wanted to send something, and actually I'm going to click this on so you'll see the screen move a little bit when I go up here and I choose wireless. See, it's connecting. And now if I go to send it, it's going to go into the built-in designs because I'm starting from the sewing side, which is fine. And I think I will send this design to the built-in, and we can go look for it later. Let me double check that. There we go. And off it goes. There it goes. So once I get into the sewing screen, the embroidery screen, and I go to send something, it'll go right to the ready to sew screen. Okay, so let me see here. I think I have a couple lights that I might need to turn off, and let me do that now. Sorry. There we go. Oh, that's a little bit better. And I think we're good all the way around on that part of it. Okay, so let me show you so you can see the screen change. I am going to go over to the embroidery mode. And to do that, I'm going to pick up my little stylus here, and I'm going to touch the house, and then I'm going to come right down here and touch where it says embroidery mode. And then it says switch to embroidery mode. Please make sure the proper presser foot is attached. Okay, I do. Even if you don't have your P foot on yet, it will still go over there, but you do need to remember to put it on. I do have my P foot on, and I have, because I use mostly Janome pre-wounds, I do use some Wonderfill, but with the Janome ones, I use my 10-gram case. And then when I switch to my ones that are Wonderfill, I use the 20-gram case because it's a tighter tension. It needs to pull more thread to the back. So that's what that's for. So now you can see it's right here. There's no design on it. And there's a little, I know there's a little bit of glare. That's going to change a little bit. So let me go ahead and send my design now. I'll go back and send it to the ready to sew screen. All right, get ready. Here it goes. All right. And it says, keep hands clear. Hoop will now move to center position. Now I don't have my hoop attached, so just the arm moved at this point. Okay, just the arm was moving. I didn't attach my hoop, and I want to show you. We're going to go over to the screen now. It's hard to see the design is there. I'm going to switch to the camera view so you can see that. So let me get that taken care of here. Let me get a few things moved off of here that are in the way. Where's my little cursor? There we go. And we're going to go here. There we go. All right, so here we are. You can see I sent over a design. You can't really see all of it because it's a lot of light colored lines there and then my monogram in there. That's just for another project I'm working on. But what I wanted to do is to show you, before you have your hoop attached, there's a lot of tools down here that don't highlight. So in order to have all those functions, your basting and all of that, you do need to have your hoop attached. Now this is calling for the SQ28D, and I laid right here, I don't know if you can see it, I have my, let me see if I can get, oh, there it is, you can see the black. I have the RE46. So I want you to watch the screen. This is one thing that I really love about this machine. It's a new change for us, is when I attach this hoop, it will change. Keep hands clear. And you can see now, there's my RE46 hoop. Okay. Now, if I went ahead and I put in a smaller hoop, which I could do here, I just have to grab it out of my drawer. I'm going to put on this small hoop. Let's move the big one out of the way and put this one on. And watch the screen. It says remove hoop and attach a larger hoop. For me, this is a great thing, because how many times do we get, especially when we're using the in-between hoops, we get going and then we do not put the right hoop on, and then we have something crash into our hoop. This prevents that, which I really like that. And I am just going to put this hoop on because I have it handy today. I would stitch this in the other hoop, but I'm going to keep this one on. And you can see now there's more things showing in our screen. Okay. So let me come around the other side. So this is the ready to sew screen. And a couple other things, what I like on here that has a lot of information. But before we get to there, I want to talk about the set mode. And that's down here. It's the little gear. And I'm not sure we can see that because we can't, let me see if I get the camera to go down there so we can see that. Where are we? Here we are. This is the little gear for the set mode. So I'm going to open that up. And what I like about the set mode, and I think I talked about this on the sewing side, what I like is that I can set my machine to do the things I want it to do, okay? And of course, the ones that are in the first section right here with the machine, this covers everything in the machine, okay? It's not particular to sewing or embroidery, it's everything in there. So there's a lot of things, there's things in here you can change, your message for cleaning your bobbin, your screensaver, your auto off time setting. This is a really great thing because I get really busy here and I'm in and out of my room and I'm answering emails and I'm on Facebook answering questions. And my machine, after 7 hours, it will turn itself off, which is great. And it does have resume function, so it will resume back to where I was. So I do like that. And that's where I have mine set. You can move your sewing lights, all of that, your bobbin winding speed. I put it at full speed ahead. That's what I want. If you have trouble getting your needle plate lifter, if it's not long enough for you, go ahead and use this to make it stay up a little bit longer. All right, and then there's all other things in here as well. So I'm not going to go over the sewing things because I've done those before, but I'm going to go over the things in embroidery. Now, it does say auto tension here, and if you change it here, it changes it for all embroidery all the time. Anything you change in here is all the time. You can change your tension right here on the screen per design. So if you have a particular thread that's not behaving well, you can make the change right here or on the little screen over there, but I try to do it over here. So you don't have to come in here to make that change. You can also actually change the height of your foot over in this screen as well. But the reason it's over here is because maybe you sew the same thing all the time and you're always changing that foot height. Well, here you can change it right here so you don't have to keep doing it. One stitch stop. This is great for quilting. I do have my speed all the way up because I know I can adjust it right here with my speed glider. Also, designs are made to stitch at a certain speed, so your machine will slow down or speed up even though you're on the highest there is to go. Consecutive color grouping, I always turn that off because I don't want it, if I have two blues in a row, then they might be slightly different. It might combine those. So I don't want that to happen. So I turn that off. Now, what I like about these settings is I can set my machine to do the things I want it to do, where you can do your machine where you like it to do. And everybody has their particulars that they like. As we go along, your upper thread brake sensor, you can turn that on and off. Your bobbin sensor, you can turn it on. You can adjust your thread cutting if you go into the gear here, and you can make some other changes to that. You can select a brand of thread that you use all the time, and those numbers will be on the screen of your machine. It will convert whatever it came in as, it will convert it to those numbers. But if you do retain original color and you buy designs from OESD or some other place, and they use a brand that's not here, it will read those design colors if you do retain original color. So if you do, OESD I think does Isacord, so it would have Isacord numbers, and if you have all the Isacord colors, it makes it easier for you. I love that feature. I have a couple different brands that I use, so for me, this is great. I sometimes design in a certain brand in artistic, and it comes over for me. And then back here, you have some changes with the design positioning, hoop calibration, and color change. Hoop calibration is important the first time you use your machine, as you want to make sure the center of each hoop is where it is. Our designs start there, so we need to know that's aligning in the machine. So you really should calibrate your hoops the first time you use them. And then when you use the AccuSetter app, another thing I love, it'll be all ready to go because it will ask you in there. You can change the grid line and, of course, your resume mode. If you make any changes in here, and I could make them as I go across, I would just touch OK down here, and it will save my settings. And now you can see that I plugged my hoop in. I can see all this information down here, right? Let me back up just a little bit. I think we got it all. Very good. All right. What I love about the CM17, a couple things they changed. Right up here I can go to my designs right from here. I can open a folder right from here. So I don't have to go to another menu, pick something, go back and forth. This is going to be here all the time. When I go into the edit screen, it will be there. As I go through different things, it will be there. So same thing down here. I have some tools down here I really like. This one here, I don't know if anybody ever uses this one. This one here is called, it's called the hoop back. But what it does is it moves your hoop towards you. And this one, it would move you straight towards you. And if I go back to it, it'll close it. So if you're doing applique in the hoop, this brings it forward. If you're putting things in the hoop as you go, you can bring it forward. It's easier to get to those hoops, especially your big hoop on there. And you have the other options too of having it go to this top corner or that top corner. So it'll slide it this way, or the hoop will go in that direction. And then also what's down here is if you need to put your arm, the connector, in a certain spot, you can definitely do it from this screen. You can also do it from the 3-bar menu. So I do like this convenience feature there. For me, I really like that one. And this one here happens to be probably, in my top 5, is the trace and baste function. Now, trace and baste, the first one is trace. The second one is basting. This is 2 layers of basting. It's in the outer and the inner. And this just goes around the outside of your design in a square or rectangle. It doesn't follow your design. And then over here, this is something we should really explore more, is this is a custom based feature. So what you do is you have an A corner and a B corner. And if you wanted to set where your A corner is going to be, so maybe you don't want it starting at the very top of this hoop. Maybe your A is going to be in a different spot. You can select the A, and then it's going to move to the A position. And then here you can move that A to a different position on your screen. So my A, if you can, I'm going to turn a little bit so you can see. And I don't really have my hoop all the way in, but instead of starting at the top of the corner way back up there, it's going to start midway down for the first one. And then if I needed to check the B one, I could. Now this is great if you're adding something to your hoop, or if you have something that, one time I did a jacket with a zipper down the front, and I really didn't want the whole basting going around because it would go over the zipper, and the zipper was metal. So I was able to set my A and my B in little sections along the front of my jacket so that it was all basted down, but I didn't have to worry about it hitting the teeth. So you can put more than one basting square in your hoop with this, and I could move the B one up by just selecting the B. It's going to come down to the B area, and then I would set the B using these here, okay? And then if I go back to this one, it just deletes those ones, and this is where I'm at. Now, many of you know my best practice for using the basting function. What I like to do is while my machine is in center needle position, I use my needle down, needle up button, and I bring up that bobbin thread. I gently hold the bobbin and the top thread. I pull out 6 or 8 inches, depending on which hoop I have, and then I push start. And the machine will move up to the top corner on the right side, and it'll start making its stitches. Now I'm gently holding those 2 threads. I'm not pulling them tight, gently, gently. It's making the few stitches and then it's going. I do it this way so I don't have to try to catch it to stop up in that corner, which you can do it that way as well. I just like to do my needle down, needle up, let it hold my stitches, hold my threads, send it to go, and it starts. I can let go. I can trim those threads afterwards. So that's our basting feature. Make sure you check that out. Play a little bit with the trace and baste, especially the custom basting. All right, you're bringing the A corner in or the B corner up. Okay, there we go. All right, so the couple other things on here, just to explain what they are. I like that they're on here. These are our jog keys. So if you had put a little mark on your for the center of your design or the crosshair and your needle wasn't aligning, you could use these to align your hoop to that mark. All right, that's all with layout and all of that. This is the one I like to keep turned on so I can see where it's stitching as it goes around. And down here, this here is our thread list. And before, this is really nice they did it this way. Before we had 2 pages, we'd have to go between them. One was the colors and one was how many stitches were there. So now they've combined it into one. So this is really a favorite of mine, because if I needed to jump ahead to another color, I mean, I could jump by color, yes, by using these ones here, I could definitely jump ahead. But if I wanted to jump by a stitch number, which this is a great thing, is I would have to go in here, and that starts at 1. And let's say I wanted to go up to, well, let's say let me get out of here for a minute. I was in here, and I know the first stitch is 4,000, but I want to start somewhere in, stitch the next 308 stitches. So I want to put in 4,208 stitches. So it'll be midway through, somewhere through the second color. So I don't have to hold the thing down. So over here, I can put in 208 stitches, and okay. And it's moved down into the black, and it's in the, you can see my stitch number there. I have stitched some of the black part, but it moved ahead to that stitch number. That's how the stitch number works. This can be really handy if you don't want to hold your finger on that plus to jump through all the stitches one at a time. They go 10, 50, 100, then they start jumping by 100. This way I can get quicker to where I need to go and fine tune it right here. That's what I use as my fine tuning. The other thing that's right down here, and this probably everyone should be using this. This shows when the flower is full, it shows everything on your screen. When you select it and you just see one petal, you're going to see one part of your design. So we are only seeing the black part of my design. When I go to the green part, you're going to see where the green part is. This is a great thing down here, especially when you're doing any applique in the hoop, or you want to just see where that design is going to start. So as it comes to that color, you can see where it's going to go. This is very handy. I wish I had a thing where I could keep it on all the time, a default to keep that on all the time. I really, really like that one. Okay. This gives you information, just to let you know, this is information about your design in my set mode, I do change mine to inches. So these are going to be in inches. How many colors are in this design? My auto tension is on, my cut command is on, and my speed is 600. Now, if you saw your speed and it was like 400, or it was the person looking like they're going shh, you know, with their finger up to their face, you've put your machine in quiet mode. All right, and it'll only go 400 stitches per minute no matter what you do with your slider. Now I can move my slider. It says 600 now. I'm going to move my slider, and now it's 1200. It's up at the top speed. It might not stitch at 1200 because the machine is smart and it knows, oh, this part it doesn't stitch like that. It knows when to speed up and slow down on that part of it. If you're nervous, keep your machine at 600. That's always fine. And you can always slide the slider. There we go. Put it back down a little bit. Okay, that covers everything on this part of it. Here's our folder to go find a design. And I'm going to open that now because remember I sent a design to my folder. And this is what I love, okay? One of those top things. And what we do now is when you, for the CM17, when you send a design to the machine or you use a USB, because I have a USB in there, it shows you your designs right out front. Now, my designs are not in an EMB folder. They are right out here. And if I didn't see them, I could always, there's an up arrow right there. So if I selected EMB, there's my go back. If I don't see the design I was looking for, I could go back and find it here. Now we're putting them more designs per page by hoop size instead of a page per hoop. I have a lot of designs today, and I have one design over here. A hint for those of you looking is look up here. It always says 1 of 2, 2 of 2. This tells you you have more pages to work from. I hardly ever use my EMB or my EMBF, so I won't find anything in there. The other thing we've gotten now, and I don't know if I have any in here this way, we have this format. And right now it's searching for all the different formats. So if I wanted to search for something particular, so maybe a JPX, which is for my stippling, if I wanted to find those, it would search for those. And I think I might have one. I don't have any. Oh, I don't have any. Let's see if it goes. Yeah, I don't have any in there. So if I wanted to look for something particular, it would sort out those designs for me and just find those ones I'm looking for. If you knew the format, that's what that means. It searches by format. Most of mine are Jeff's. There we go. So this is great. I love that they're on here now. Always look for that up back arrow right here. And let's see, that was my USB stick. Same thing over here. If once I go into here, I can use my up back arrow to get back to where I was. There we are. So I'm not actually in the EMB right here, okay? My EMB is just, that's where the folder is. If I open the EMB, there's nothing in my EMB. If I wanted to go to my EMBF, I would touch it. There's nothing in that either. Okay, just because you see the folder there and you see designs, that does not mean those are in that folder. Okay, but I love this new way. I like when I put my stuff in there, I can see it right away. I don't have to monkey around with folders. I can create folders if I want to. So that, I really love this new feature. Okay, so I'm just gonna, let's see, I did put that in my, I'm not sure where I put it. All right, I'm just gonna close out of here. And then what I want to show you is the edit screen. So we're going to go to there next. So across the top here, you can, this is that bar I really like now. If I wanted to take this design to the edit screen, I could just touch right here. Okay. Now, if I wanted to find a design that's in my machine, sometimes you have to change your hoop to that size so that you can find designs of that size. And so if I, well, I can't select anything smaller except for that one on there. But sometimes you have to change your hoop size when you're looking in your folder, okay, so that you can put a design right into your edit screen. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete this one because I don't need this design like that. And I think I'm going to bring it down there, and I'm going to go back to my folder and see, this is one I have in there. Let's see if I have anything else. Nope. Oh, I'm in Jeff. Let me do all. Okay, so if I tried to pick this one, let's do this one. It exceeds the hoop size because I picked a small hoop to start with. So I would need to come in here and make sure I have the right hoop, then go back. It actually selected the hoop for me, and then it will put it in there for me. Okay, I'm not going to use that design. I'm just going to delete that from here. Actually, yeah, let's just delete the whole thing. There we go. And I want to go back to a smaller hoop right there because we're going to just make a little design. And I'm going to bring in some designs from our lettering in here to make our needle minder. But just to show you, when you go into the flower, these are all the design groupings. So they're all across here, so you can page through, you can touch them, you can page through, and see how they've organized them on this page now. So these, it won't let me take one of those. It's going to say exceeds hoop size. It changed it. I would have to go back here to get that one. But I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to change back to my little one. There we go. So in here, you can page through all your designs by grouping. And then the next one is by hoop size. So I'm only using this hoop. If I pick this one, it's only going to show me the RE46. This is handy too, and I like that they sort them for you. But I have to say the best part is that this menu is here all the time. I always say the CM17 is menu forward. The more the menus are up front, you don't have to go into prior menus to get them. All right, and if you want to work in the edit screen, I usually start in the edit screen and I'll bring my design into the edit screen. And then I work from there. That's instead of going right to the ready to sew. I'll open something. I'll start by opening the edit screen. We'll do that. And then I'll go get a design and bring it in. Let's pick this one. And then I'm going to go get a design. And bring it in, and I can work from there. I can keep going back and getting more designs. Okay, if you want to work here, start here first. All right, let's delete this one. And we are going to use the RE20 hoop. So there we have it there. And I'm going to go get, you don't see any tools down here right now because I don't have any designs on there. So let me go get a design. I wanted to work with some designs in here called normal and border sew. So they're all under the alphabet. So let me go back this way. Here are all the lettering that we have. Many of our machines, I think almost all of our embroidery machines, have normal and border sew. So when you get to the end of them, you have your border, and then normal sew, and then your monogramming. So let's go back here. When you open these up, they're all little icons that are in here. And in my little design, I had two of these, and I also had something else. Let me see where they were. I think I used this guy here. So I'm going to, this one here. I'm going to start with this one. And I'm going to bring down my needle minder so you can see it. Let me see if I can get it in there. There we go. So see across the top, I have these, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. I'm going to take my twin needles out of there so you can see it. I have 5 of these across the top. So I'm just going to put in 5. And then I'm going to touch OK down here. And I'm going to go back because I do want that RE20 hoop. There we go. And I want to move this to the top. So I'm going to keep it in line by using the arrows. And then I also want to curve it. Do you see how it's curved? So the normal and border sew, this is what I love. I love these designs. The normal border sew work with the ABC tab. So I can curve them like this, and make really cool things. So I think I did that like 3 times to get it that size. Make sure you touch OK or it won't save. And then I'm going to move it up to the top like that. And I'm going to copy paste it. It'll copy, just touch that once. It copy pastes on top of itself. And then I'm going to mirror image it. And I'm going to move that one to the bottom. Now you can make your needle minder as big or as little as you want. I'm just going to put it down here at the bottom. There we go. You can just hold your cursor on there and it will move it to the bottom. So now I have the top and bottom of mine figured out, and I can add the other pieces, and they might be on some of the other parts. So I need to find that little dress form. So I'm going to go back into my lettering. That one is under normal sew. So I'm going to go to normal sew, and I need to page over. Aren't they really nice designs? These are some of your decorative stitches that you can use over here. There's a little kitty cat down here. There is the dress form right here. So I'm going to select it, and I'm going to touch OK. And now oh, I know why it keeps going back to the RE46. It's because I have the RE46 hoop plugged in. So let me unplug it. Now it will keep this hoop. There we go. It should. All right, so now I need to rotate that, and right here is rotate. So this is one of those things I love. We can rotate by 45. So there it's in the right position. I'm going to select OK. And then I might size it up just a little bit because it looks a little small. This is the sizing. I can only go up 20%. It's going to stretch it out or shrink it down. There we go. So we'll go up a little bit, only goes 20%. These are going to have to come in probably, but they're in there now. And then I can work on the side pieces. So the side pieces is this little star and these little triangles. And how I did those, again, go back to your lettering. And I want to find those little triangles. They might be in the other one. Let me just see. You should play in here. You can make so many fun things. Let me go back to border. You can find these in the manual. You can see what they are so you know which page everything is on. Oh, this I'm going to have to bring that in at some point. So the little triangle, oh, maybe it was on the other page. Oh, let's see. They're like little arrows. And when I'm talking and trying to do this, I can't always see what I'm doing, you know? It makes it hard. All right. It's not. Well, I'm going to go back. And I'm just going to use this one to show you. You can put, oh, this is, yeah. So I'm going to put 2 of those in. I'm going to put a flower, or if I want to take something from the other, I can back that up and take that away. If I want to go back to border sew and put something in the center using border, I can pick something in here. Maybe I want, like that one that's on this side, this guy here. We'll pick the flower because he's in one position. And then I'm going to put more of those on the other side. But I may have to bring these in separately, because if I bring them in right now, they'll be connected. So I'll show you that. So I'm going to do OK. And I'll just move them up so you can see them. So now, for me, I can't really align this the way I want. See how this is up there and this is over here. So what I would do, I'm going to delete that. Well, I'll leave it there for a minute. I'm going to go back to my border sew. Oops, that's not what I want. I want to go here. There we go. And let's go into normal. And I'm going to pick that little, I'm trying to find that bigger design that I had, but for some reason it's escaping me. So I'm going to bring this in by itself and say, okay. And then just move it off to the side. And then I'm going to go back and get these ones because they were in the other category. And they were, I think, next page. Oh, I see where it is. This is that one that's all together. That's what I used. I was looking for single designs. So what I'm trying to show you is you can bring in single designs and realign them. So I'm going to delete that now that I found the design I needed, and delete that one. There. So there's the design I needed. I'm going to rotate that just like I did the other one. Okay, I'm going to move it to the side. Now you can put whatever designs you want. That's the cool thing about this. You can create whatever you want here. And I'm just going to make it align with the center of this like that. And if I want to make this one bigger, I can. It does stretch it out a little bit, makes it, there you go. And to bring it over here, I just copy paste once and then move it across. Now, one thing about copy paste, when you're working with copy paste and you notice when you look at your color list in the front that you have, it's supposed to be a 4-color design and now you're seeing 12 colors, that means you've copied that design on top of itself 2 times. So make sure your color number of your list is the same number that's supposed to be in the design. So I would just be bringing these down now to meet up with that, and this would come up to meet up with that one. These little designs like this, you can make little circles out of. Those are a lot of fun. I'm going to go back to my lettering. The lettering that I used for the letters of my needles, like I have the B for blue and R for red, purple, and other. I used my micro Gothic, so you want to bring those in individually. So let's see, the first one is blue, so I'll bring in the blue one, and okay, and move it up here. You can stretch that a little bit and make it a little bit bigger if you want. Put it in position. And I'm going to make it a little bit larger. The one thing I want to show you too is we do have the feature of copy to 4 corners. So if I have that selected and I wanted to put the B in 4 places, I could select here and it puts that B in 4 places. Of course, the B, I would have to turn it around. But this is a great tool to use. This tool here is the center tool. So if I had this one off to the side and I'm like, oh, I want that one in the center, it's selected because I can see it has green around it. It'll put it right in the center. These are great tools to be working with down here. All right, now this I would probably have to mirror image, and this one mirror image. There we go. Then once you have it the way you want it, you can send it to your machine and stitch it out. I would save it into my folders, and to do that you would just touch here on your folder and you could save it in here. I have one in here already, but you could click here to put a name in it and then save it into the built-in or to a USB stick if you wanted to. You can always get to those from your Artistic Digitizer software as well when you're wirelessly connected. Now that's a really favorite thing of mine right there. If you needed to, sometimes you have designs that are too close together and you're trying to find them. We have this little thing here, and what it does is it goes, my box is around the one that's here. When I press these arrows, it moves around. Now it's on this one, and if that's the one I want, I select it, and that's the one it'll take. Sometimes you put things really close together and you can't get your cursor in there, so that's what this does. Whatever's selected there, it'll bring you to the next one right down here, and I'm going to go again. So that's the one it's selected. Any of the red ones are selected. If that's what you want, you put your cursor on there and it's selected with the green box. I think I covered all of the things down here. This is for numbering your design. If you wanted your designs to stitch in a certain order, you can select them in the order that you want them to go. And they would stitch in that order. they'll only stay that way for the time of this design. Touch there. And then this one here, well, let's do this one first. You can change the colors of the different parts of your design if you don't want to stitch it all in one color. So you can go through and change the color. You can also change the color of your grid under this one as well. This is color grouping. So there's only one color, it's going to make it all stitch at once. But if I had different colors in here and I wanted if I had some reds and a couple of reds, a couple of blues, a couple of greens, and they were around my design and I wanted to stitch all the reds first, it would pick those up. So you can, if you've multiplied anything in here, you can always group them here. This is sew as one color. All right, now let me show you these two because these are pretty handy. Right now we're in just the flower view, and here's the magnifier. Now the magnifier, you can move your screen up and down by touching it, so you can get in closer. I'll go up to the really close one. This is handy. It doesn't move your designs out of place. It just moves the cursor. If you come in here and touch the hand, now it's going to move the designs and not your background. So when the hand is highlighted, you can see a little bit of the screen behind it. That means the screen is going to move. If you take that away, you're going to have to check your designs. This is great because when you're building something, you can see really closely, like, all right, this needs to go up 2 more clicks, or maybe this needs to be over here on this line. Oh, I have to go back to that one to make it select that one. There we go. And I can align it now. I could select that one and put that one in the corner. So you can see much easier this way. All right. Once you're done with your design, of course, you select OK, and you go to your ready to sew screen. All right. Okay, I'm going to switch to the other camera and just give you a couple things at the end here. Let me see here. Ooh. All right, just a few more minutes. And I don't have all my lights on, so I look a little dark at this point. I could put this one on maybe. There we go, a little bit better. All right, so it's hard for me to say this is my favorite thing, but I also wanted to show you so many things on there so you're comfortable building on the screen of your machine. I mean, I could bring in a design from my USB stick and add it into my needle minder if I wanted to. Maybe there's a little floral design I like, or maybe there's a little spool of thread design that I have from something else, some other sewing notion I have from another design that I bought or whatever, or maybe I designed it. I could bring that in as well. So you can work with everything right there from your edit screen. So you don't have to always go to your computer. If you have something on a USB stick, you can put it in and pull it up and add things to it, or merge things. People like to say merge. You can merge things to it. So for me, I've always played on the edit screen quite a bit. A lot of times it shows, you know, we don't have a lot of things around to play with, so I'll create designs on the edit screen and stitch those out. You can use those small normal and border sew designs, and you could copy paste them in rows and then copy them down the page and then stitch it out, and you'll make some embroidered fabric. I used to do that a long time ago. I did some on pleather, and then I made little zip pouches for people out of that. So there's a lot you can do right here on your machine. And that's one thing, you know, I really do love about our machines. We don't have to play with all of our technology, though, you know, I love the technology. We can just play on our machines and get things done that way. All right, so just behind me, if you want to look, I love my last thing here. Well, 2 things are the magnets, which are great. And of course, I have my big thread stand up here. I love that 5-thread stand. So hopefully I didn't find anything I don't like. What can I say? All right, everyone, have a great day. Thank you for joining me. Put your comments down below. I'll come back and answer them. If you have trouble finding something, or you need help navigating the page or whatever, let me know. I'd be glad to help you. Bye for now.